going on, everyone? I hope you're having a great day out there. It's Christina from the Glaser Tutoring Company, and today we're doing more polynomial math, right? In this case, we have to find the product. And here we have our lovely little example here. So we have 4x plus 2 being multiplied by 6x minus 4. So all we got to do is just find the product, right? And product is just the fancy way for saying multiplication. Okay, so we're just going to multiply these two polynomials together. But now the thing is, how do we do that? Well, there's a lot of methods out there, but the one that I abide by, right, and I think that is the easiest to know, is called you gotta be fair. You gotta be fair, right? And that works out for all of math. No matter what you're doing in math, you gotta be fair. And multiplying polynomials is no different. Now, how do we be fair? Well, in this case, we only have to really worry about the first parenthesis. We're going to be doing most of the work from the first parenthesis. And if you get everything from that first parenthesis, you got all of your multiplication. All right, well, what does that mean? Well, we have two terms in my first parenthesis, and the idea is that we must multiply by the second parenthesis so that all these parentheses go bye-bye. Then we can do our little adding and subtracting. But now let's just see how that works. So in our first parenthesis, we're going to focus on being very systematic. We're going to go with our first term, the 4x. And since it's being multiplied, I'm going to have to take my 4x and multiply it by the other parenthesis. We do not multiply inside the same parentheses because that's addition. But the multiplication is coming from one parenthesis to the other. So we're going to take our 4x and we're going to multiply it by the 6x. But here comes the you gotta be fair. If you multiply the 4x by the 6x, you must multiply the 4x by every other term in the second parenthesis. So which one are we missing? Which one's feeling left out? Yeah, the -4, right? And it's a -4 because there's a minus in front of here. So 4x will be multiplied by the 6x and by the -4. That's how we be fair. So before we even go to the second part, let's just do the first part, right? So we got 4x times 6x. Well, we multiply just as we would with all of our numbers, multiplication. So 4 times 6 is 24. So we got 24. And now we have an x being multiplied with an x. Now here is a really important rule to know. I'm going to post it up here right now. This is our rule for multiplying, and maybe I'll put it over here. This is our rule for multiplying variables with exponents. So if you have an exponent in your variable, so I put a here, and I'm multiplying it with the other exponent, it's actually addition. So you're going to be adding your two variables together. So in this case, x, it was raised to the first, times the other x, that was raised to the first. 1 plus 1 is 2. So in this case, we have 24x squared. And your first multiplication is a success. Now, we gotta be fair. We have to multiply the 4x by the -4. So let's go for it. 4 times -4, that's 16, right? -16. And maybe we'll start doing different colors here. So maybe I'll start with black. So we have negative or minus 16 because of that -4. And now there's an x value here, but there's no other x value here. So we're just going to leave it like x. And notice how I'm now starting to use different colors for different terms. Blue is going to be all of my x squared guys, and just the x value is just going to be the x, okay? And the first guy's done. Now we work on the next one in the first parenthesis. So instead of doing my multiplication with the 4x, I'm going to move on to my +2. And Can you hear what I'm going to say? What am I going to say? You're absolutely correct. You gotta be fair. So just like we multiplied the 4x by both terms, you gotta multiply the positive 2 by both terms. So I'm going to take that plus 2 and multiply it by the 6x. The negative 4 is like, what about me? Well, we got to do that too. So there we go. Let's multiply. Positive 2 times positive 6 is a 12. And then you just have one x value. So can you guess what color we're going to draw this in if we just have an x? Yeah, it's the black. So plus 2 times 6 is a positive 12. And that's just going to be an x. Now we just got to do the last one. Positive 2 times a negative 4 is a negative 8. And since this one, there's no x's, I'm going to use a different color. And now we are good to go. Look at that. Now we just have to simplify. And you simplify always the terms that are similar. And it's easy to see here with the colors, right? The similar terms are the ones that are going to be in the same color, x and x. So I can't really do anything with this 24x squared, so I'm just going to leave it 24x squared. But now we have a negative 16 plus 12, right? So now we're just going to actually do the addition or the subtraction, right? Negative 16 plus 12. That's a negative 4. So minus 4. And since we're now adding, we do not touch the variables. So we don't add these together. This doesn't turn into an x squared. You just drag that along. So that's the difference between multiplying with your x values and adding them. And then we'll say that, I guess we'll say that this and this came together. Okay. And now, negative 8, that's the only term that it's got, so minus 8. And we're done. I have all three of different colors, so I got the final answer. 24x squared minus 4x minus 8. And that is the end for this one. What'd you think? Did you be fair? Did you be fair? Were you fair? That's what you got to be when it comes to math. So always fairness, fairness, fairness all along, and just keep working with your first parenthesis. And once you go through all of your first parentheses and you be fair, you're done. Now you just got to simplify. And that's it. So thank you so much for viewing the video. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments, if this worked out for you. Love talking to you guys in my spare time as much as I can. And yeah, thanks for being part of the community. And I hope you're having a great, great, great day. And keep studying hard, okay? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.